Think it's hot now? The next 5 years will smash records, UN says. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share Washington app. In the next 5 years, the Earth is overwhelmingly likely to surge again and again past the international climate threshold set as safe and shatter its hottest year record along the way, according to new United Nations climate projections. The World Meteorological Organization also forecasts an overheating Arctic that warms nearly 3 degrees Fahrenheit (1.66 degrees Celsius) between now and 2030, and a dangerous drought with potential wildfires for the Amazon, a crucial part of Earth's natural defenses to lessen human-caused climate change. A hotter globe from the burning of coal, oil, and gas means more extreme weather, including floods, droughts, and heat waves, scientists said. The projections by the UN Climate Agency and the United Kingdom's Meteorological Office said there's a 75% chance that the average global temperature between 2026 and 2030 will exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius (2.7 degrees Fahrenheit) since pre-industrial times. That threshold is the agreed-upon limit of warming, averaged over 20 years, set in 2015 by the Paris Climate Agreement. A UN science report a few years later detailed how exceeding that 1.5 mark means more likely death, danger, and species loss. Even though it's only a few tenths of a degree, some of the planet's ecosystems, such as coral and glaciers, can't handle the strain. Passing warming limit has consequences, but no cliff. There's a 91% chance that at least one of the next 5 years will shoot past the 1.5 degree threshold, and an 86% chance that one of those years will smash the record for Earth's hottest year set in 2024, the WMO report said. The WMO projects each year between now and 2030 to be between 1.3 degrees Celsius (2.3 degrees Fahrenheit) and 1.9 degrees Celsius (3.4 degrees Fahrenheit) since the late 1800s. It's important to note that 1.5 is not kind of a cliff edge that we are going to fall off, said report co-author Melissa Seabrook, a climate scientist at the UK Meteorological Office. Every kind of 0.1 of a degree has more and more severe impact. She pointed to unprecedented May heat in Europe this week. An entire year or more above the 1.5 degree mark means a whole range of extreme weather events, probably many so hot/wet/dry that it exceeds anything we've experienced in the past, and thus, crucially, anything our city planning, agriculture, etc. has anticipated. Imperial College of London climate scientist Friederike Otto, who wasn't part of the report, said in an email, "This will mean many people will lose their lives. We are in for a lot of food price shocks and more intense wildfires." Read more. Nearly all the shorter-term forecasts call for a strong El Niño, a natural warming of parts of the Central Pacific that alters weather worldwide and spikes global temperatures, to form soon. The WMO report said it could stretch all the way to 2028. Because of that, Seabrook said 2027 will likely break the 2024 heat record. And if the next 5 years do average more than 1.5 degrees Celsius since pre-industrial times, that means Earth will have warmed a quarter of a degree Celsius (0.45 degrees Fahrenheit) in a decade, which is faster than the previous rates of warming. Those were closer to 0.2 of a degree Celsius per decade. Climate scientists are debating whether global warming is accelerating, which obviously is quite scary, and if these projections come true, it would give additional evidence to those who see a speeded-up rate of change, Seabrook said. Accelerating warmth forecast in the Arctic. The projections, based on the averaging of about 200 runs of computer simulations using 13 different climate models from various countries, show warming in the Arctic rising 3.5 times faster than the rest of the globe because there's less ice and snow that had been reflecting solar radiation to space, Seabrook said. It becomes a vicious cycle. As the temperature warms, more sea ice melts, the worse this makes it, Seabrook said. Winters in the Arctic from 2020 to 2025 on average were 2.1 degrees Fahrenheit, 1.2 degrees Celsius warmer than the 1991-2020 average. The WMO projects the next 5 winters will average 5.1 degrees Fahrenheit, 2.8 degrees Celsius warmer than that recent normal, Seabrook said. The report also forecasts Arctic sea ice to continue to shrink in the summer. Amazon may get drier, sparking fire worries. The report calls for even warmer and unusually dry conditions in the Amazon basin, and that could be devastating for both local residents and the planet as a whole, Seabrook said. People rely on the Amazon for water, and the hotter, drier conditions should increase wildfire risk, Seabrook said, threatening to turn the Amazon, which now sucks heat trapping carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, into a region that worsens the problem. Africa's Sahel area, which has been extra dry, is likely to get more than normal rain, and that could lead to flooding, Seabrook said. United Nations officials said efforts to curb climate change haven't been enough. Despite the progress of recent years, it's clear that global heating is still outpacing global efforts to contain it, and the baking temperatures in Europe, India, and elsewhere show yet again the brutal human and economic impacts of humanity still burning colossal amounts of coal, oil, and gas, UN climate chief Simon Steele said about the WMO report. Whether it's extreme heat, megastorms, floods, massive wildfires, or droughts hitting food supply and prices, he said, every nation is already paying a huge price from this global climate crisis. The Associated Press climate and environmental coverage receives financial support from multiple private foundations. AP is solely responsible for all content. Find AP's standards for working with philanthropies, a list of supporters and funded coverage areas at ap.org.